If we give Kamala Harris a promotion and make her the President of the United States, the southern border is going to look like Walmart on Black Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be no good. No fun at all. Now, while she offers amnesty for the people who've broken our laws, we have a different message. President Trump and I have a different message. To all the criminal illegals who flooded across Kamala's wide open southern border, pack your bags, because in 6 months, you are going home. Now, just weeks ago, I actually visited the southern border, which means that I've visited the southern border more than our borders are Kamala Harris. I saw where little girls are trafficked by the drug cartels, some of the most vile people in the world taking advantage of innocent little children and making money off of them. I met a rancher who endured violent criminals raiding his land. Just a rancher in Arizona trying to get by. And I see the desperation of families torn apart by the fentanyl and all the other poison the cartels are bringing into our country. Now, I know the hurt of that poison very personally. A lot of you know my story. I remember being a kid whose mom struggled with addiction. I remember waiting at the bedside of my mom, angry that she had taken something that she shouldn't have taken, but just praying, Lord Jesus, please let her wake up. Let her make it through this time. And we got to remember, my friends, because of Kamala Harris's border policies, way too many of our loved ones are not waking up. Way too many kids have been orphaned. Way too many grandparents are raising kids they didn't expect to raise because Kamala Harris allowed the drug cartels to wage war on this country. I think it's time to wage war on the drug cartels, and that's going to start with Donald Trump's leadership. Now, the president's going to be here in just a few minutes, but I almost feel bad for him, because this is not the first time that Donald Trump is going to have to clean up somebody else's mess. Now, remember, in 2016, he took over from Barack Obama, who let ISIS spread mayhem all over the world. Then Trump came along, and in a couple weeks did what the media said could not be done. He wiped him off the face of the earth. And remember, when we win this November, and it's going to start right here in North Carolina, I think the cartels are next. We're going to do just to them what Donald Trump did to ISIS. Now, I will admit it is hard to make sense of Kamala Harris's foreign policy, especially when she explains it like a third grader who didn't study for a class presentation. Have you ever seen Kamala talk about the Ukraine-Russia war? I'd recommend you go and see it, but wait until November, because you're going to lose about 20 IQ points when you watch Kamala Harris talk about Russia and Ukraine, and we need that over the next few months. We need you guys in top form, so don't watch it just yet. But she'll say, well, Ukraine is a country in Europe, and Russia is a country in Europe. And then you say, okay, well, what comes next, Kamala? And the answer is nothing comes next, because she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. But if you want to give her the benefit of the doubt and understand her foreign policy, remember that she bragged on CNN about playing a key role in the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, that was before 13 innocent service members died at the Kabul airport. That was about 3 years ago to the day. That was before the world witnessed panicked civilians cling to the sides of retreating American airplanes. And that was before they gave the Taliban billions of dollars paid for by you, billions of dollars of helicopters, planes, Humvees, and artillery. It was the worst humiliation this country has endured since the fall of Saigon, and Kamala Harris says she's proud of what she did. It was treason, and is it any wonder that Putin then invaded Ukraine on her watch? Or that Iran attacked Israel on her watch? Or that this very moment China is ramping up its aggression against Taiwan on her watch? When Kamala Harris walks in the room, America's enemies sense weakness. And that's why we have got to fire Kamala Harris, not give her a promotion. Now, She wants to represent America all over the world, but she's terrified to face a friendly media. Does anyone think that the person who runs from the friendly American press could stand up to Vladimir Putin or Kim Jong-un or Xi Jinping? Of course you couldn't. So if you believe that a strong America requires a strong leader, I've got a recommendation for you. Why don't we re-elect President Donald J. Trump? And while we're on the topic, don't send her stolen valor sidekick. Send a former Marine. Send JD Vance to be vice president. We got some Marines out there, Semper Fi. Now, Kamala Harris, she gets really mad when I bring up the stolen valor of her running mate. But let me tell you why it matters. Every single person here understands why this matters. Here's the record on Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota. He dropped out of the military and allowed his unit to go to Iraq without him. And he knew they were going to Iraq. He lied about it, but he knew they were going to Iraq. Even his chaplain called him a coward. And those of you who served in the military know the chaplain is the nicest person in the unit. If the chaplain is calling you a coward, you must have really screwed up. He claimed to carry a weapon in war, but you ask him, Tim, what war have you ever been in? And the answer is he's never been to a single war. He lied about it. He lied about his rank, and he stood in silence as Nancy Pelosi and a lot of journalists praised him for his service on an imaginary battlefield instead of correcting the record. What won't stolen valor Tim Walz fib about? In fact, I believe at his next speech, he's probably going to say he survived an assassination attempt in Pennsylvania. I think that's what Tim Walz is going to claim next time. Now look, we don't criticize, and this is where the media is dishonest here, we don't criticize Tim Walz for his years of service in the National Guard. We condemn him for lying about that service for political gain. It's disgraceful, and nobody should tolerate it. Now, Tim Walz needs to not only explain why he abandoned his Guard unit, he also needs to explain his bizarre love affair with China. Have you seen this? This guy's been to China more than the U.S. ambassador to China. He got married in China. He visited China over 30 times. He honeymooned in China. He taught a course approved by the Communist Party in China. He even brought American high school students with him on visits to China. Now I know, and we all know, that Kamala Harris wanted to outsource our factories and jobs to China, but I didn't expect her to outsource the selection of her running mate to China too. But here's the problem in choosing him for vice president. It's not just about Tim Walz, it's about Kamala Harris's terrible judgment. We do not need a president with terrible judgment. We need Donald J. Trump back in the White House. Nothing matters in national security and foreign policy more than judgment, because nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what crisis is going to erupt over the next 4 years. And I got to be honest with you, my entire adult life has been shaped by presidents who threw Americans into unwise wars and then failed to win them. And if we're being honest, it wasn't just Democrats, it was sometimes Republicans too. And what did Donald Trump do? He stood up to the chicken hawks. He bucked the foreign policy establishment. Even sometimes he resisted pressure from within his own party. In President Trump's 4 years in office, we had 0 new wars. We had peace all over the world when Donald J. Trump was president. In the Middle East, he brokered the Abraham Accords, brought stability, and created a long-term balance to Iran. In Europe, he pushed the Europeans to take more responsibility for their own defense so the United States would not have to pay for a bunch of freeloaders. We ought to focus on our own security, not subsidize European welfare. They can take care of themselves. And never forget, as much as the Democrats said that Donald Trump was somehow on the side of Russia, the only president of the last 20 years who had Russia not invade a neighbor was the presidency of Donald J. Trump. He kept Russia in check. He's the only president of our lives to do it. Under Kamala Harris, Putin invaded Ukraine. But under Donald Trump, Putin didn't do a damn thing, and that's because of strong leadership. People respected him. And that's, by the way, my friends, why we were able to defend our own border, is because Donald Trump didn't have us distracted by fighting wars that we had no business being involved in. We got to focus on our own border right here at home. That is the Donald Trump principle, and that's what we're going to bring back to the White House. It's funny, all these people said that he was going to start a nuclear war, but President Trump knew more about diplomacy than any president of the last 40 years. In Asia, he opened diplomatic talks with North Korea after a half-century of stagnation. And you remember when he went to North Korea, he met with Kim Jong-un, the leader of that country. And if you know anything about Kim Jong-un, well, how do I say this politely? Kim Jong-un doesn't miss a whole lot of meals, okay, my friends? And Trump stands there with the media and Kim Jong-un. You remember this? I'd encourage you to go look it up. And he brings the media in and he says, all right, everybody, take some photos of us, make us look nice, make us look skinny. And Kim Jong-un sat up like that. It means something to have a president who's not afraid to go into hostile territories, tell a few jokes, and actually engage in diplomacy. That preserves peace. While all these Democrats lied about Donald Trump being the candidate of nuclear war, Donald Trump is the person who prevented nuclear war. And if we're not careful, Kamala Harris is going to walk us right into nuclear war. We got to kick her out and not give her a promotion to President of the United States. And maybe the most important thing Donald Trump did is he began the process of ending America's economic reliance on China. The most important thing, because Donald Trump understands economic security is national security. The whole world knows that China doesn't have better workers than America, but they're willing to lie, cheat, and steal to win. They lied about unleashing COVID-19. They cheat and they ignore trade rules, and they steal America's intellectual property. Now, Kamala Harris lets China get away with all of it, and China Tim helps her. Donald Trump isn't gonna let China steal a damn thing. He's not gonna let them steal our factories, not gonna let them steal our jobs, not gonna let them steal the American dream from American workers. Donald Trump will not allow America to be dependent on Chinese medicine for our children. That's a big thing. You know, so much of what we put into the bodies of our children is made in China. Doesn't make any sense. And Donald Trump will tell China that if they don't stop sending fentanyl into our city, there is gonna be hell to pay. No more of that crap. We need somebody who stands up for American workers. Now, the establishment loves to complain about President Trump's approach to diplomacy. They don't like the way that he talks. Have you seen this? Why is it that our leaders are so careful with their words but so reckless with their actions? I prefer a different kind of statesmanship, one that stands up to the crowd, one that stands for American interests, and that pursues those interests ruthlessly but also carefully, with strong words and the strongest military in the world, but with great restraint to balance it out. Donald Trump's presidency was the first disruption to the failed consensus and the terrible consequences that it wrought. So I say, let him whine about Donald Trump's tweets. Because let's be honest, folks, mean tweets and world peace has a pretty nice ring to it. I think we ought to bring it right back. We have got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to re-elect a man who's proven he's too big for the deep state bureaucracy. He's too tough for the tyrants all over the world. He was too strong even for an assassin's bullet. Ladies and gentlemen, let's return to a time when the bravest man leads this nation with strength. That man is Donald J. Trump. He was the once president of the United States, and we in North Carolina, we're going to make him the future president of the United States. God bless you, North Carolina. Thank you. Let's win this race. Let's do it together. God bless you all.
Why don't we liberate these United States? We're the ones who need it worst. Let the rest of the world help us for change, and let's rebuild America first. Our highways and bridges are falling apart. Who's blessed and who has been cursed? There's things to be done all over the world, but let's rebuild America first. Who's on the hill and who's watching the valley? Who's in charge of it all? God bless the army and God bless our liberty. That come the rest of it all. Yeah, I'm in position of backing away. Freedom is stuck in reverse. Let's get out of Iraq, get back on the track, and let's rebuild America first. Once more. Why don't we liberate these United States? We're the ones who need it the most. You think I'm blowing smoke? Boys, it ain't no joke. I make 20 trips a year from coast to coast.
And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Ludacris going in on the verse, cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't make it and my folks locked down. I never went nowhere, but they saying Luda's back. Blame it on that contour, the hood call it Luda-yak. And I'm on this foolish track, so I spit my foolish flow. My hands go up and down, like strippers' booties go. My verses still be serving, tight like a million virgins. Last time on a college remix, now I'm on the original version. Can't never count me out, y'all better count me in. Got 20 bank accounts, accountants count me in. Make millions every year, the South's champion. Cause all I do, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Swerving in my low-low, head on the swivel, you know serving me's a no-no. Clean as a whistle as I pull out in my Rolls Royce. Yellow bone passenger, they see it, they say, oh boy. Tell Kelly, back it up, my call me loco. Down for armed traffic, you know, make me pull that. Ask you what you laughing at. Represent that mud life. Dirty money, better get your mud right. We come together holding hands and holler thug life. We all strapping all black, it's like life.
All it's true is real.
You riding or what? Cause we riding tonight. Now she riding with me cause you wasn't riding.
All I do
right.
is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Heat in the kitchen, pot on the stove, water getting boiled. Being sold, Snoopy in the hookie, system overload. I've been running this rap game since I was 20 years old. I hung with the worst of them, bust till I burst them up, floss them up, toss them up, harder work, close them up. Pardon me, I'm bossing up, press you up, bless you, bro, don't mess with us. We like the U in the 80s, back to back, set a track, hit the lick, get it back, get the trick, jump the track, want my money back, time and time again, while I'm sipping on this gin. Al Davis said it best, just win, baby, win.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
You can never know what it's like. Your blood like winter freezes just like ice. And there's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. And did you think this fool could never win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way. And if you need to know while I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I never could have hoped to win. You're starting down the road, leaving me again. The threats you made were meant to cut me down. And if my love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. No, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. I kissed your lips, make you grip the sheets with your fingertips. Last bottle of Jack, we split a fifth. Just talking about life, going sip for sip. Yeah, you know you love to fight, and I say shit I don't mean, but I'm still gonna wake up wanting you and me. I know that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. No way it was our last night. No way it was the last night that we break up. I see your taillights in the dust. You call your mama, I call your bluff. In the middle of the night, pull it right back up. Yeah, my friends say let her go. Your friends say what the hell, I wouldn't trade your kind of love for nothing else. Oh baby, last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. We said we'd had enough. I can't remember everything we said, but we said too much. I know you packed your shit and slammed the door right before you left. But baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. No way it was our last night. I know you said this time you really weren't coming back again. But baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. No way it was our last night.
with a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and a Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. I got my hands up to play my song. You know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. It's a party in the USA. Yeah. It's a party in the USA. Get to the club in my taxi cab. Everybody's looking at me now. Like, who's that chick that's rocking kicks? She gotta be from out of town. So hard with my girls not around me. It's definitely not a Nashville party. Cause all I see is the letters. I guess I never got the memo.